Hi there folks, and welcome to CSN Guitar Tutorials. My name is Chris. This is Milo, my 9-year-old Staffy. He's fast asleep at the moment because he's completely oblivious to what we're doing, which is a good thing. Otherwise he'd be whining and wants me to play ball. Anyway, let's focus on what we're here for. Over the course of the coming weeks and months, I'm going to show you how to play the guitar. Now my course of lessons is basically built around chords, strumming, scales, mainly. But then later on we're going to go through the more advanced stuff such as syncopation, which is basically playing on the offbeats. It's a bit more to it than that, but this is the basics of it. The caged system, which is C-A-G-E-D, which I'll go through again at a later date, as well as alternative tunings. All I ask you guys to bring to these lessons is time and patience. Now, although the guitar is one of the easiest instruments to learn, it's also one of the hardest ones to master, because there's so much you can do on these 6 strings. That's why they're suited to so many different styles of music. You've got like gypsy jazz, you've got rock, you've got folk, you've got bluegrass, you've got reggae, you've even got some fusion has some in it. And I could list the whole list of genres, but we haven't got all day. So let's move on. All I ask you guys to bring, like I say, is time and patience. Just 5-10 minutes a day, going through what I've shown you on these videos, and try and get to show you to flow into one another, because at least the first 6 lessons I'm going to post will blend into one another. There might be some jumps later on, but the main thing is to get you to start playing some chords and some chord progressions. By progressions, it means basically a sequence of chords that make up a song. I'm not going to worry too much about the theory at this stage. I just want you to playing some chords and some songs and having fun with it. Like I say, the thing here is time. Put in 5-10 minutes a day rather than a half an hour session 1 day a week. It's important to have 5 minutes to yourself. Maybe, I don't know, get the guitar out when you're making your dinner, or I don't know, waiting for something to happen that you've got to time yourself for. You know, just boiling an egg or whatever it might be. That's a bad example, but you know what I mean. It's important that you give yourself a little bit of time each day and go through what we've covered. Now, what will you need for these lessons? Well, obviously, you'll need a guitar. At this stage, beginning stage, it doesn't matter if it's acoustic or electric. The main thing is to make sure it's in tune. Now, to make sure it's in tune, you've got a variety of different options. You can get some, set pitch pipes. They normally come free with the beginner's kit. A tuning fork. You can get an electronic tuner. You can even get an app for your phone or your tablet, whatever you're watching this on, and it will tune up pick up the vibrations from your microphone in your phone and tell you if it's sharp or flat. I generally favour a Boss tuner. This is my old favourite. This is my Boss TU15, which I've had for 10 years, maybe longer. They're not, these ones aren't made anymore, but it's a very similar model. I think it's the TU80. I could be wrong with that, but pretty sure it's something like that. It's basically a small compact tuner, and this tunes everything from guitars, obviously, to bass instruments, to mandolins, to violins, to cellos, anything string based mainly. And it does it to standard tuning and alternative different tunings, but we'll go into alternative tunings, like I say, at a later date. So that's the first thing. Get a guitar that's in tune. You'll also obviously need a plectrum or pick, or as I call them, plecky. I generally favour these Jim Dunlop nylon pleckies. These are like 50p a go, but I generally buy them in bulk from a place called Dirty Riffs, which is based in Knightsbridge in Devon. You can get like 50 for like £10, or maybe even less than that. You can get loads basically for very little money. It's best to buy them in bulk, especially if you're like me and you're always losing them or breaking them or whatever. You'll also need at some point one of these. This is a capo, sometimes called a capo, and what this basically does, it raises the pitch of the strings. If you're playing a song, say, and if you find the chords are too low for your voice, for instance, say that's the chords of the song, and you try to sing to it and it's too low, use one of these devices to raise it up. So say if you need to raise it just a tiny bit, you put it on the first, and you find that you still use the same chord shapes, but the pitch is higher. It's a very clever little tool, this. I will admit, for years I was very anti-capo, thinking if you're going to learn a song, learn to play it properly. But since I've had to start singing songs, I find it's been very useful to use this so I can focus more on the singing than the actual playing. You can also get these ones. These are what they call a trigger capo. This was a gift from my grandmother about 3 years ago when I asked for a capo. Now these do a similar job, you know, they are looking the same principle, but I find they're not as reliable. I mean, well, they're also quite big, as you can probably tell, compared to the shub. There you are, see? And with my very long, lanky fingers, spider hands, I find the shub one works best. And so, but we'll go into capo usage at a later date. Right, so I think that's all you need to know really about who I am or what we're going to be covering. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on the video below or email me or whatever. I will respond as and when I can. I think that's about it really. If you have any questions, like I say, ask me, text me or whatever. And let's move on to the first lesson. The first lesson will be the E major chord. Click on the video below to see how it's played. Cheers guys, see you there.